Just Ashley Ruiz here. It is 10:15 and we do have the latest on Hurricane Sally. It's currently to the east of the mouth of the Mississippi River, around 55 miles as of the 10 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Barely moving, not something you want to see. In fact, it is just going to hang out in the basically south of the Alabama, Mississippi, and Northwest Florida Gulf Coast just for several hours on end. May not even make landfall until tomorrow morning. Forecast to continue to move to the northwest, then eventually to the north. Crawling 2 miles per hour with max sustained winds of 85 miles per hour. The latest track from the National Hurricane Center, and I know this is not what a lot of folks from southeast Mississippi to the Florida Panhandle want to see, because the track shifted once again to the east, which is what we were expecting. The model guidance has just been so consistent with a potential landfall near the Mobile Bay. So impacts from southeast Mississippi, even more so over southwest Alabama and especially into the Florida Panhandle, those impacts are increasing, which means for our Baton Rouge viewers or our South Louisiana viewers, our impacts are little to none. It's breezy. In fact, it feels pretty nice, and we'll see some passing clouds, maybe an outer rain band, but our threats are close to zero. We could still see some storm surge on our tidal lakes, which I'll get to in a minute. Meanwhile, the latest track brings it just a hair to the north this evening as a hurricane, and I don't want you to focus on the categories. Currently it's a Cat 1, but you know what? The threats for flooding and then storm surge, that has not changed. The wind impacts have decreased just slightly, so that really does not matter at this point. Still going to bring significant impacts to the northern Gulf Coast. Wednesday morning, 7 a.m., it still is not projected to make landfall just yet, but then watch what happens. As we head into Wednesday evening, it's starting to move inland, and then it's going to quickly weaken and then eventually bend back to the northeast and then become a remnant low, going to bring some heavy rain to Alabama and into Georgia and possibly into the Carolinas as well. So checking out the satellite and radar, there is a tornado watch for southwest Alabama and northwest Florida through this evening. I'm expecting another watch most likely to be issued because, again, it's not going to move much. It's just going to hang out in the Gulf, and it's just going to bring out or bring some of these outer rain bands, and these are the rain bands that you have to watch for some tornadic development. So if you have friends and family in southeast Mississippi, but more so southwest Alabama and into the Florida Panhandle, make sure they have multiple ways to receive warnings. And again, here's the center. It's not very visible, at least on the latest run from the radar. You see it's wrapping around, but it's been sheared a good bit. That's why it has weakened, but overall it's just hanging out near the mouth of the Mississippi River. Here's what we're seeing in Baton Rouge. Some of the clouds kind of fanning out, and it's a bit breezy. Now the heavy, as I mentioned, the greatest impacts with Sally for the Florida Panhandle will be the significant rainfall. In fact, the National Hurricane Center, the National Weather Service out of Mobile, they are calling this potentially historic because of the incredible amounts of rainfall. In 2014, there was significant flooding in Pensacola, over 20 inches of rainfall recorded then. These areas could see 20+ inches of rainfall, possibly up to 2 feet at times. Isolated spots could see 30 inches. Which this is the product from the Weather Prediction Center. Baton Rouge, not even an inch. Again, we could see some outer rain bands that may produce more, but as you see, some spots not picking up on any rain for the next 3 days. So very tight gradient when it comes to who's getting what. I-59 maybe 1 to 2, and then points eastward, that's when it really ramps up, even high rainfall totals all the way to Panama City. And here's a look at the track just to kind of show where the highest rainfall totals will fall, and this may even shift over a little bit because the highest totals will be near and east of the center. Also, storm surge, as I mentioned, going to be significant. We're seeing some storm surge here, the south shores of Lake Pontchartrain already seeing some surge of around 3 feet. And then Lake Maurepas and Lake Pontchartrain could still see 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. And then near the coast, basically from Grand Isle to the mouth of the Mississippi River, 1 to 3. The storm surge from the mouth of the river and then including Lake Bourne, that has gone down to 4 to 6, but that is still significant. As for the storm surge, including southwest Alabama, 4 to 7 feet, and then 4 to 7 feet for Mobile Bay. Again, significant, and this includes Dauphin Island. Into the Florida Panhandle, 3 to 5 feet, and this also includes portions of the Choctawhatchee Bay. So again, significant storm surge. Some great news. This is the tropical alerts. Great news for Louisiana residents, at least. Most of the state has, in southeast Louisiana, we were under tropical storm warnings yesterday, under hurricane warnings. They have been discontinued, except for the immediate coast, where we're still seeing some impacts from Sally being so close to the mouth of the river. But if you look at it closely, Baton Rouge and our surrounding areas, even around the tidal lakes, no longer under a tropical storm warning. But that hurricane warning includes all the way in southeast Mississippi, central and southeast Mississippi, all the way through the Florida Panhandle, including Santa Rosa County, basically to Santa Rosa and to Okaloosa County. So that is going to mean that you could see hurricane conditions. And in fact, let me see what the, from the National Hurricane Center, they're saying hurricane force winds extend outward up to 45 miles from the center. And then tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 125 miles. So that is why there's a big portion of Mississippi, Alabama, and into Florida under this hurricane warning. As for potential winds, this model is an in-house model. We show a FUTURECAST on air. It's the RPM model. This is one of, it's a similar model from the same company, and this is the IBM graph. And it was pretty spot on with Laura, so we gave it a shot for Sally. And it's been pretty consistent so far. I mean, I do think it might be a little more to the east, but this means that we need to pay attention to these model runs, because this is potential wind gust, possibly late tonight. Look at some of these values, still showing around 25 miles per hour for Baton Rouge, 32 for New Orleans, Biloxi 44, but check out Pensacola, around 89 mile per hour wind gusts. That's a good possibility depending on where its center does start to move on. But you notice the center wasn't even on shore. When I was saying that, it's because the northeastern quadrant, of course, that's where you're also going to get some of the most intense winds near the eye wall as well. So check it out. This is 4 a.m. Wednesday, possibly some wind gusts up to 90 miles per hour for Pensacola. Keep in mind, this is just one model, but this is just showing some of the impacts that could be. Even though winds are not the primary impact. Again, they are a significant impact, but more significantly, it's going to be the storm surge and the heavy rain that could lead to flooding, possibly life-threatening flash flooding. So please avoid all flooded areas. Do not chance it. Just stay home, hunker down, or get out. Go somewhere safe. Go inland. So again, this is one model. And this is the same model, but it just shows what the potential radar could look like. This is 10 a.m. and it's picking up on the current trends. Still showing this is 3:30, still offshore this afternoon. This evening, still bringing a lot of rain to the Florida Panhandle, southwest Alabama, and some moisture's trying to wrap around it and to bring possibly the Baton Rouge metro some rain bands as well. So that's why I had rain chances in the forecast today. This is tomorrow morning, 11:30. Still has not made, well, I would say right about then it was showing a landfall, but leading up to that, still offshore and still showing just relentless rain falling from Pensacola and Escambia County all the way to almost Tallahassee. So as you see, like progressing through the time, Wednesday night, still feeling some impacts, and then the impacts start to spread into central Alabama and into Georgia and then toward the Florida Peninsula. So again, this is going to be a prolonged event. It's not going to zip by quickly, be in and out. It's going to linger. That is why there is such a huge risk, and that's why I keep stressing significant risk of storm surge, prolonged storm surge, and then just several feet of rain will be possible. 2 feet of rain is a good possibility for a good portion of the Florida Panhandle. But again, it is showing that the Baton Rouge Metro, check it out, staying mostly dry. This is the RPM model. This is showing this afternoon and this evening. You see a little bit of rain popping up around the Baton Rouge Metro. It has, again, the bulk of the rain staying well to the east of us. And we're still likely going to see some passing clouds with it. And then even tomorrow, we'll see sun, we'll see clouds, and then it will still likely be breezy. Then after that, if you're wondering what is the weather going to be like after that, since we're going to be mostly dry, well, I do think we'll have a few showers around each and every day, and then potentially a cool front will pass through the area. It's looking more likely, and the Climate Prediction Center is saying that the 6 to 10 days from now, temperatures for a good portion of the country will be below average. Average here in Baton Rouge this time of year is around 89 degrees. So temperatures may be below that, maybe mid and upper 80s. So I'll certainly take it with lower humidity and morning temperatures in the 60s. Some mid 60s, some models were showing low 60s, but let's give that time before we show that on the 7-day. But it's something to look forward to. Hopefully we're done with the 90s after, I would say today and then maybe Thursday, as we could maybe flirt with 90. But again, if you are just joining us, I was just going over some of the potential impacts with Hurricane Sally for our friends out to the east in southwest Alabama, northwest Florida. A lot of us vacation out there. Maybe you have homes or friends and family out there. Just be sure they know what's going on. And in fact, Pensacola, the 3-mile bridge, the Pensacola Bay Bridge, that's the bridge that connects Pensacola to Gulf Breeze, which then you would move into Pensacola Beach. That would be the Bob Sykes Bridge. The Pensacola Bay Bridge is closed now. They close it if winds are 39 miles per hour or greater for at least a minute. So that would be sustained. And so they closed it because of that, and because a barge ran into the bridge. So that collided with the bridge. So now they have to inspect it. So now the bridge is closed until the threat for Sally subsides, and they'll have to check it out and inspect it before they open it back up. But the Garcon Bridge is open, and they are waiving tolls. So that is one way to get out. Again, that's for northwest Florida. Again, here in the Baton Rouge Metro, expect breezy conditions today. We have sustained winds out of the north, 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 25. Okay, so we have some wind gust out there. Could see some gust over 30. But overall, let me show you the potential impacts graphic once again for the, actually I didn't show this, but I'm showing you it now. Our winds 10 to 20, gust over 25, maybe near the coast and I-55 could see gust up to 30 at times, but again, our impacts little to none at this point. Some passing clouds, maybe a shower or two. Other than that, in the tropics, I'm going to wrap it up right after this, and I'll go through some of your questions and answer them. Type it at least. I'm not sure where my tropics graphic is. Oh my goodness, hold on 1 second. Jasmine, I'm lost in my graphics again. I have so many tropical graphics, I'm losing track of all my other graphics. I am not oh, here we go. I'll show you what's going on. So we have this one wave that's off the coast of Africa that is a high chance for formation down the road. That could be Wilfred. Also Teddy and Vicky, not going to be a threat to the continental U.S., at least not as of now. Teddy might impact Bermuda, possibly as a major hurricane. Paulette is going to accelerate out to sea, maybe curve back around. And then there's this wave that's just off the coast near Portugal, that might have a chance to develop into something. And then this wave in the southern Gulf has a chance of becoming a system as well, but it's low at this time. There's Sally. And again, the next name on the list will be Wilfred, and then we're done with the 2020 Atlantic storm names, and then we go into the Greek alphabet. And the next one after Wilfred would be Alpha, and we haven't gone to the Greek alphabet since 2005, and before that hadn't happened on record. So let's hope we don't have to get through the Greek alphabet alphabet, but keep in mind we still have plenty of times, 10 to 11 weeks I think left of hurricane season, so we've got ways to go. All right, so what you can do to stay ahead of any storm down the road, you can download our free Be Our Proud app. So you have all the updates at the palm of your hand. You have radar, you have updates, tropical satellites, storm alerts, all of that. It's a good tool to have. So again, go ahead and download it on the Apple Store and then the Google Play Store as well. All right, so again, if you have any questions, let me know. I will be more than happy to answer it. Again, you can log on to beourproud.com, tracking the tropics, and we have all of this information in one article. So it'll be a quick read for you guys. All right, stay safe, stay weather aware, and enjoy your day.